Every year, developers try to compete against the world's biggest creature collector, Pokemon. From Temtem to Palworld, some found huge success, but not a single game has tried to completely twist the format other than one: Aethermancer. Even one of the internet's biggest creators, Ludwig video games, noticed its potential. And with his publishing company offering games, covering marketing, translations, and even console ports, they're betting big on this being a hit. So what exactly makes Aethermancer so different? Could it really be the next big thing? Well, let me make a case for it. First things first, it's a roguelite. That means there isn't linear progression. While most roguelites throw you in a generic dungeon, Aethermancer builds an actual world. You're exploring a different realm called the Void, inhabited by insanely diverse monsters. But as you explore, you might run into some problems. This is a core gameplay loop, a 3v3 monster battle, where the last one standing win. But you can't just steamroll through it. This game thrives off strategy. Okay, yeah, that's cool and all, but what does any of this mean? Well, I'm glad you asked. I won't lie, it does look pretty confusing, but it's really simple when you break it down. These orbs here are called Aether. You consume them to use your actions. This essentially makes Aethermancer a resource manager, where you want to plan ahead to make sure you aren't wasting any valuable turns. But if that were it, the game would be brain dead boring. So thankfully, it isn't. The developers had everyone in mind. Yes, even you. It's specifically made for every single person to enjoy a strategy they want to do. Love building up a raid boss to do huge damage to your enemies? Completely cool. Enjoy poisoning your foes and slowly watch their HP tick away as you laugh maniacally? Yep, you can do that too. This is all possible because each monster you collect is essentially 3 different characters in one. When you level up your companions, you unlock 3 different types of abilities. Let's take this Jackalope for example. He can be either critical, purge, or sidekick. So if you want him to be more supportive, go for it. Or maybe your team needs a bit more damage, then you can opt into some of his aggressive attacks. Need both? Mix and match. But if you don't care too much about making the perfect team, and kinda just want cool looking partners, just like strategy, there's a monster for everyone. You saw the Jackalope, but my personal favorites are the Wormling and the Warden. So no matter what combination of monsters you choose, there'll always be a viable way to win the game. And if you ever feel like one of your monsters is basically a bench warmer, then swap them out with another one you caught. Don't worry, they'll instantly be up to level with your current party. Not to mention, Aethermancer makes battling actually feel rewarding. This, alongside the sound effects and stellar effects, push the game even further. No more boring sprites that stand still. They actually do the attacks you command them to make, with weight behind them. This flexibility and art direction really adds a dynamic way of thinking and playing that is unlike any other monster tamer on the market. But Aethermancer isn't perfect. It's got quite a few things to work on. This is just a demo, so definitely take this with a grain of salt. But the most notable issue is how complicated the game can come across to an average player. It tries to explain it to you, but instead bombards you with an insane amount of information like annoying pop-up ads. At the very least, make these pop-up ads next to what it's talking about with an arrow. It's just a lot to digest in such a short amount of time, so don't expect your first few runs to go exactly as you plan. And there's gonna be a lot of reading. Like, this is the explanation for a single item. In hindsight, it definitely isn't too bad. But imagine being 5 minutes into a game and suddenly there's a giant block of text taking up half of your screen. On one hand, that might be good for some people, but on the other, some people may hate it. But it's not just these huge issues that I'd want to see improved. There's also little things that are equally as important. A simple one would be adding some sort of noise to the NPCs. I mean, look at them. They look amazing. The design of each of them are so dope. But when talking to them, there's nothing that helps them stand apart from another. They're honestly kind of lifeless. Think Hollow Knight, where the bugs make unique noises when you initially talk to them. Or Animal Crossing, where each resident has a different voice. It's these little things that breathe life into games, and honestly, would fit perfectly here. Let me try it for you. That's so stupid. Anyways, circling back to the complication issues, there's just so much to keep track of. For starters, each monster has 3 different abilities, 2 different elements, a passive, 3 or more moves that you can make during the run, plus any other moves that you unlock while leveling up. And on top of that, each passive or ability may have their own separate pop-up that you'll need to read to even begin to comprehend what your little monster pal can even do. It's just a lot. So the learning curve to get into this game is definitely the biggest issue thus far, but it doesn't completely kill its fun. Take me for example. I'm normally an avid puzzle and strategy hater. Between the choice of playing an action game versus a strategy game, 9 times out of 10, I'm picking the action one. But this game has kept me coming back. There's just so much potential that each monster brings to the table. And once you begin to understand how the game works, even if it's just a smidge, it awakens your third eye. The overwhelming items and information are surprisingly easy to remember. So instead of feeling lost, you begin to feel like this master puppeteer pulling the strings for your 3 warriors. And just like any good roguelite, it gives you that special feeling. I'm not talking about edging. Instead, it's the drive to improve, get better, prove to yourself that you can conquer this game. It motivates you because you know there's a way to get these insane numbers, create this wild build, and it's not impossible. It feels tangible. Like seriously, watching this little plant freak almost break the game from how much damage it did feels a fire in me that makes me want to do the same. Chances are, if you stayed here, you're at least a little interested in playing. So why not give it a try? The demo is completely free, and you'll be supporting the hard-working indie devs that pour their heart and soul into this. And don't worry about losing your progress. The demo will actually carry over to the main game. This game seriously has a lot of potential, and if it's successful, we might be looking at the next big indie roguelike. And rest assured, you'll be able to say you discovered it here first. Subscribe for more.